If you have a hammock, you're probably looking at this net because you got bit up at night. I think it is probably one of the most necessary things for camping equipment, especially with your hammocks. It's gonna work with pretty much any hammock you have, and it's the Coghlans mosquito sleeve. Comes in a very compact case. We're gonna have a diameter of 5.5 inches and a height of 9 inches. It's gonna come with 2 carabiners, just like the hammocks. And it's also going to come with all the ropes that you need to get this completely set up. And of course the mosquito net. I went ahead and tied the long string, there's just one of them, from the same trees that my hammock's on. We want to make sure it's nice and in line. So you can kind of move the side. I like to do a slip knot on this, like that. Tighten it up. Just make sure it's nice and tight and even all the way across. Then after that, we can take our net. You're going to notice some hooks on one side once I find them. Right here. So these are going to go on our little rope we just tied off. Once it's hung up, it's going to make it a little bit easier to get our hammock through here because it is a sleeve, which I kind of like that. It'll be a lot easier to kind of set up. And then once we get the hammock all the way through, all you have to do is just disconnect one side. We'll get it all the way through to the other end, right here. Then we can just connect our hammock like it was before onto our little tree here. Then we can take this and take that sleeve all the way to the ends. The cool thing about it, you guys can see, once we get this point past where we're going to be sleeping, we can take this little drawstring here, suck it up to where there's not going to be any open gaps. So you can do that on both sides. Just like this. And notice how mine is kind of hitting the ground a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust this string, maybe make it a little bit tighter or tie it off a little bit taller, just so nothing can get on there and start crawling up. On one side, we're gonna have a zipper. This is how you're gonna get in and out. There's 2 zippers. One goes up, one goes down. And then just use your hammock as you usually would. Get in, spread these out. Make sure you're not sitting on the net. Go inside like this, and there's gonna be a zipper on the inside and outside, so it's not gonna be too difficult. I'll probably start with the bottom. Grab that, start to zip this thing up, just like that. Probably just pull this one down. There you go. This is definitely a necessity, especially if you're gonna be sleeping, just because you're gonna wake up just bit up to heck if you're camping in the summer or the spring. It didn't really take me a whole lot of time. It's definitely a good upgrade to a hammock that doesn't have one of these. This mosquito net can be used with any type of hammock that you really have. The overall length of it's going to be 11.5 foot, and then the width is going to be 4 3/4 feet. And notice the mesh in here. So it's going to have 130 holes per square inch. So it depends on what kind of mosquitoes and insects you're trying to keep out. I think for around here in the Midwest, this should be good. But it's plenty of coverage, and it really does give you a lot of room. I'm glad that they gave us the rope, because sometimes the mosquito nets that are integrated with some of these hammocks, they sit on you, and if they're on you, then the bugs can just bite you right through it. So keeping it up and elevated is super nice. If you have a hammock, you pretty much like the outdoors, I assume, and it does not really hinder your view. It's pretty easy to see through, especially when it's all spread out like this. But whenever you're done with it, notice over there, there is a little storage sack. You can either put your personal stuff in there while this is in use, but it goes all back into that, and it's not a separate bag. I like that a lot, and it's very small, can fit in your backpack pretty easy. It's a simple thing that's gonna make your camping experience a lot better. No more bug bites with the Coghlan mosquito net.